Sounds like we should get used to today's weather.
I know, because it was so nice the 2 days earlier in this week, it really made today just like I woke up and I was like,
here we
go again, the rain.
This is what we've had for the entire winter.
I know. Next week looks okay to start, but you know, it's only Wednesday, so that's not the most uplifting news you've ever heard. But yeah, so we had a warm front moving into our area today. That's kind of what caused that cloud cover to increase from west to east earlier this morning. And it brought with it some rain showers. They've overspread much of the western half of the state at this point, about to the Bangor areas and down into down east Maine, and will continue to go eastward as we go overnight tonight. A couple pockets of heavier rain, especially in the foothills of the mountains, but overall pretty light rain associated with this front because it isn't very strong. However, this weather is going to be a precursor to what the rest of the week is going to look like, which isn't that great if you're a fan of the sunshine. So overnight tonight, we're going to continue to see those rain showers, and then we kind of have a brief break as this warm front moves out of our area. As we get into early Thursday morning, it's still going to be overcast and pretty dreary out there, especially along the coastline, because we have some of that onshore flow. I could see a lot of drizzle and kind of some fog in these areas. And then once we get a little bit later in the afternoon, just after midday, we have the warm front from our next system that's going to move in. So that's going to bring kind of the heaviest rain that we'll see so far this week, coming into areas in western Maine about 1 p.m. and then overspreading much of the state later into the evening. And then by about 10 p.m. we kind of have a brief break in between there. So after that warm front goes through, that means we're now in the warm sector. But the warm sector is going to bring with it the heaviest rain, which will move through early Friday morning. You can see there in kind of those yellow and orange colors. That's where we're going to see some of that heaviest rain. It's also going to be quite warm, but not very nice to go with it. Temperatures in the upper 50s, even some low 60s possible. So we're not worried about precipitation type here. It's just going to be a lot of heavy rain moving through Friday morning throughout the state and then kind of dissipating on the back end of this system. And that's kind of what's going to linger into the day Saturday. Just kind of those on and off rain showers on the back end of this system called wraparound showers. And then finally, this whole system will move out by Sunday. So I think overall that's the better of the 2 weekend days. So in terms of the amount of rainfall, I would say about 1.5 to 2 inches of rain. This could cause some minor flooding, especially in the foothills where they would see the most rain, kind of combined with that snow melt because the temperatures this week have been so warm as to melt some of that snow. So could see some minor flooding in those areas as well as some coastal flooding because of the high wind speeds associated with this system, especially Friday afternoon into early evening, gusting to about 40 to 45 miles per hour. So a little bit of storm surge is possible, causing some coastal flooding, as well as a couple isolated power outages because of those high wind speeds coming offshore. But overall, I don't think power outages are going to be a huge deal associated with this system. So our marine forecast sees 2 to 7 feet. We've got some of those gusty winds offshore, but that gale warning isn't in effect until Friday morning at 5 a.m. So in terms of our 7-day forecast, we kind of got our good, nice days of the week out early this week. So the rest of the week is going to be just those kind of on and off showers both today and then tomorrow, and then some of that heavier rain for the day Friday. So Brian, I think for the 2 weekend days, I would say Sunday overall is going to be better than Saturday, and we'll keep a close eye on that system for Friday to kind of see with the flooding and power outage situation there. Overall, I don't think it'll be a huge deal, but just something to consider.
Just have to keep our eye on. All right,
exactly.
Dana, thank you.